Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So my name is Muhammad Ammar bin Maskuri, 259-517. So I'm going to present the new normal in logistics and transportations. What's new? So basically for the introduction part, the coronavirus has emerged globally. So the coronavirus COVID-19 global outbreak has given a huge impact on the various sector of industry, especially for the economic sector. So this emergency situation and crisis that is happened is affecting the global market. This coronavirus outbreak pandemic making a chain disruption on the supply chain network. As we all know that the supply chain network is a complex, vulnerable and fragile. So for the logistics and transportation, the public transportation are being shut down. For example, bus, airlines and maritime industry. So for the bus, the public transportation has been shut down by the government based on the advice from World Health Organizations, and the bus company that they has facing a huge of losses, about 20% of their revenue. So for the airlines industry, the airline industry is very essential for the movement of people. But then this COVID-19 making a restriction movement control order, so the airline industry gain its losses, and ICAO stated that there is 48% of declinations. So for the maritime industry, the freight are still moving, but the seaport traffic are being recorded at 20% declination of the goods that's being transported. And for instance, I've read that Tanjung Priok at the Indonesia is the biggest port in Indonesia, and it also recorded that there are 5% of losses. So I'm gonna proceed with my first point, that is navigating the impact of COVID-19 on transportation and logistics. So basically, when navigating the impact of COVID-19 on transportation and logistics, we are finding the solutions and what are the main point that affecting the transportation and logistics. So logistics and transportation must consider, the first thing is workforce health and safety. Second one is global and domestic capacity. Third is disruption in supply chain. Fourth is government regulation and legislation. Fifth is obstacle of automation. For the workforce health and safety, logistics sector and transportation sector need to ensure their employees are on the good health and provide a safety measure to prevent the spread of COVID-19. So for the global and domestic capacity, is about how the logistic and transportation tackle the challenge of global and domestic capacity. For example, I'm taking the sourcing activities that most so there are a lot of manufacturers in worldwide using the global source, and these are the challenge that they need to face. And the third one is the disruption in supply chains. So basically, the disruption in supply chain is because of the COVID-19, because of coronavirus. So, for example, this disruption in supply chain, we can see that when the during the coronavirus outbreak, there are a lot of people are there are a lot of people that going to retail outlet or supermarket, and there is a panic buying. So this panic buying is a disruption in supply chain, because the panic buying is a uncertainty and risk. So for the fourth point is government regulation and legislation. So transportation and logistic company must obey the rules of government regulation and legislation to in order to prevent the spreading of COVID-19. As an example, I'm taking that Malaysia has implement movement control order, and the public transportation has been shut down, and food and beverage industry must comply with the standard operating procedure. So for the last point of navigating the impact of COVID-19 on transportation and logistics is obstacle of automation. So transportation and logistics need information as it essential part, because without information, logistics and transportation cannot operate. So obstacle of automation that I mentioned here is about when the industry revolution 4.0 is about the artificial intelligence, about augmented reality, it's about big data, it's about internet of things. So if this logistic and transportation company cannot comply with the upgrading technology at the advancement of technology, but then this company will be eliminated by other business competitors. So obstacle of information is the information of COVID-19 are being so I will go for the next second part. So the second part is about the guidelines for the new normal for public transportation operators. So like logistic and transportation plays a vital role to prevent these pandemic situations. There are 13 guidelines that were suggested by World Health Organization for public transport operators and travelers. So for the first guideline is about temperature screening for all individual, and then public transporter need to provide a hand washing facilities, and hand sanitizer must be put at all entry, toilet, and etc. The third guideline is about things that has direct contact with the travelers, with the passenger, need to be sanitized regularly. Fourth guideline is sanitizing facility for highway, public transport operation, public transport company must sanitize the facility through the highway of the journey. So if the place is a busy area, so the time to cleaning, to sanitize the place is about 3 to 4 times, and 3 to 4 times. Next is adequate waste management and protective PPE to waste handler. So waste management need to be in a good way. So my sixth guideline is about avoiding overcrowding and keeping the social distancing. Then Public transport operators must ensure the ventilation system in the transport is in a good conditions. For the eighth point is those who have symptoms like flu or cough must wear the mask, but who does not have the symptom do not wear the mask. Guideline number 9 is about public operator is about don't create a panic situation if there is someone that has sign and symptom of COVID-19, but please report to the hospital or police. So for the guideline number 10 is traveling outside of the country is being banned right now. So for the guideline number 11 is the information of prevention should be provided for all the passenger because this information making the passenger aware the dangers of COVID-19. My guideline number 12 is put poster in a different language on a visible area. So this poster has information about the COVID-19, how to prevent it. So it must be put in a visible area on the area that we can see and a different language. Guideline number 13 is transport service company must provide a right guideline. For example, keep 1 meter distance from another person, touching face using hand, avoid handshakes, cover mouth and nose during sneeze and cough. So how to handle the impact of COVID-19 on logistics and supply chains? So how to handle the impact of COVID-19 on logistics and supply chain? I propose that the first one is using short-term planning, because why we using short-term planning is because first is about to determine the revenue capacity, the revenue opportunity in during this COVID-19. Second one is protecting employee safety and well-being. Third is understand deeper on the disruption. Fourth is focus on tracking document for recovery. Fifth, stay on government regulation. For the long term, analyze the net finance of the company is very important, as we know that the capabilities of our companies. So second is for the long term, if is we move toward to digitalized industry, because the COVID-19 cannot spread through digital system. So it is more efficient and effective for it to be digitalized. That is AI controlling in supply chain visibility. As we all know that the supply disruption is a major setback to this logistic supply chain. So using artificial intelligence will indicates and will solve the major setback. Fourth point is about implementing lean manufacturing techniques. Implementing lean manufacturing technique has a lot of advantages, because it keeping low the inventory size, and so if the inventory size is low, the holding cost is also low, and it fasten up the movement from production to the market. So for the long term, improve network. So what I mean by improve network is we go for e-commerce. For example, as we all see that Amazon doing great in this COVID-19 by having, if I'm not mistaken, it's about 200 million profit, if I'm not mistaken. So we improve the network by using e-commerce platform. So that's all for handling the impact of COVID-19 on logistics and supply chain. And my last point is sustainable transport in a post-COVID-19. So transportation need to be sustainable. It is very important for the future to enjoy that what we enjoy now. So I propose that first, we ensure the stability throughout the revenue is supporting transit activities. So the stability of public transport company right now is very imbalanced, and Malaysia, for example, Malaysia has proposed to help in economic sector by giving about 4 billion for the economic sector to support this industry. For the second point is provide high quality of public transportation and infrastructure. The massive reduction of car traffic in COVID-19, making the space in road infrastructure. So transport company must take this as advantages for to making to upgrade their public transport and infrastructure to high quality. So the third point is energy efficiency of bus fleet. As we all know that our bus right now is using diesel, so it is not good for our environment. So I see China has implement this electrical bus, but by the government of China itself dedicates $150,000 for one bus to be converted to electrical energy. So this is sustainable transport that we are seeking of. So the fourth point is about we investing in cycling and the transport are investing in cycling and walking, because after post COVID-19 we see that new trend is about cycling and walking, because people need to go to some place. So this cycling and walking is a new trend in COVID-19. So the cycling and walking also promote a good lifestyle, promote green environment, and it made a new opportunity for the business. So my last point is about the extension of modern world. As we all know that what happened in Wuhan does not stays in Wuhan, it spread. So the modern world need to be connected because it is very important that the information from one country to another country is fast. So this extension of modern world is needed to sustaining the transport in a post COVID-19. That's all from me. Thank you.